Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Mike to Mike here. Today I'm going to shoot several videos. The one that I think I'm going to start with today is how I use my bandsaw to cut material. I'm going to make some railroad spike crosses today. I bought some railroad spikes from a guy on Etsy and I want to go ahead and showcase how I'm doing that. But I use a bandsaw to cut them to length to make my crosses. So what I've been doing for a while is I have this bracket here, nothing crazy about it. It was actually, I had a sheet metal shop break this bracket, and it was like 10 bucks, metal included. And I've drilled some holes here, as you can see, to mount this to the throat of my bandsaw. Now I know Swag Off-Road makes a plate that's broke that fits a variety of bandsaws, porta bands basically. For me, I didn't want to spend 100 bucks on one right now, so I already had this, so I drilled this and made this work. But I'm going to also include a foot pedal switch today. I picked this up off Amazon. It was like 12 bucks, and also a Velcro strap to hold the trigger down so that when I use the pedal, it'll work as long as I'm holding the pedal down. So we're going to kind of go through that today, and I'm going to show you how I kind of set this up and how I set it up on my vise here on my welding bench. Stick around, good things to come. Okay, this is my bandsaw. This is the Bauer 63444. They make several variations of this. This has actually been a really good bandsaw for what I've done. I've bought some Linux blades, which have really helped. The blades that it came with weren't very good and didn't work great, but they worked until they died. So anyway, we're gonna hook this. Basically fits in here like so. So let me knock this out and get it kind of set up, and we'll go through the process. All right, we got the bandsaw out of the case. I got my 3mm Allen key. I really like these ball head style. They really like to kind of get in there at different angles. I've kind of got meaty hands, so this makes it kind of nice. One of the things that I did do is I did write on here what size Allen key goes on this, just so I don't have to always try to do the checks and balances trying to figure that out. So basically what you do is you get in here, and there's two screws, one here, and you just remove them real quick, and you can see this throat plate slides fairly easy. And I came up with this design a while back just because I wanted to find something that would allow me to use this in a vertical format, because if you're not aware, most bandsaws at Lowe's or Home Depot or Craftsman or whatever you buy, they're only made for wood because you have to turn at a much slower rate to cut a harder material. So I kind of came up with this, if you want to call it jerry rig. I'll plug jerry rig everything there. But these work good. You just simply get your screws started back in. I just started them loosely. I did put some anti-seize on these because I have had a problem with getting them out before. Now it's not perfect, but it works good for what it's intended for and allows me to hand cut stuff. Most of the stuff I'm hand cutting is just stuff that I'm going to weld, so it doesn't have to be precise. I'm not doing a mill fit or anything like that. And I kind of wiggle it just to make sure everything kind of lines up good. This was a few trial and runs trying to get this to fit right, but once I got it, I've used it a bunch this way. I will probably break down and buy the Swag Off-Road. I primarily use my bandsaw in a vertical orientation, unless I'm cutting a big piece of material. I don't ever do it on the ground. So there's that and that. I'll cut away and show you putting it up on the vise up here. All right, gonna space this a little bit closer together so it just slides right in there. This thing is a little bit unwieldy at times, but I basically for all practical purposes, we'll just do it this way. Set this in here like this, and I just tighten my vise up, give it a good snugging, and then I can turn the vise here, and I can put it wherever I need to cut. You can also put the vise on the other side so that it gives you different orientation. In fact, I probably will do that because I'm going to be cutting from this direction. So and I like to lower it down where it's about right there so that the weight of it is as close to the mouth of the jaw as possible. I'll move my extension cord or my cord to the other side. And then this, as you may or may not be able to see, move this here. I got plenty of clearance under here, so I can use my bandsaw in whatever method I need to and move it where I need to. So we'll tighten up these sides here. So we have no more swivel. We're rigid, and we're ready to kind of freehand cut here. I would like to have this throat be a little further out and cover over the top of this. And someday I may take a piece of plate and weld up against that and grind it down, just so that I have something that will give me a little bit of an extension. And who knows, maybe we'll do that today. So one of the problems that you run into on this this bandsaw here is you have to hold the trigger down. Traditionally I've used a clamp, but when I was looking at getting a different throat plate or a vertical mount to make this a bandsaw table, one of the common things that I saw everybody was using was a Velcro strip that just kind of looped around as such around that and held it on. I was like, man, that's a lot easier than using a dadgum clamp. So let's give this a go, see how well this does. It's a little longer than I needed it to be, but should still work and function. Looks like that clamps down just fine there. It does, but there's no way to Velcro that. So I need a shorter Velcro strap. Okay, good to know. So typically, I just put this clamp here, do that. That's what I've done. I do like the idea of using the strap, but it doesn't look like it'll work in this particular instance. And then the way this works is this is actually just a pass-through. So cord goes in here, this plugs into your extension cord, and then with the pedal it should be momentary, and that should make that work. Let's give it a go. So we're plugged in on one side, plugged in on the other, didn't turn on. Let's squeeze it and see if this works. That is slick. So I can just leave this foot pedal on the floor, use a piece of scrap, find some gloves, just in case the teeth grab it. So let's turn this on and see how this works. Looky there. Cuts like a champ. I do think I want to go ahead and build a throat plate for that, and I think I'll do that today. prior to doing our crosses. So, see you guys in a little bit. I'll come back and finish this. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me again. Remember this guy, right? The angle piece that was the throat to vertically mount this bandsaw. I took about an hour, had some scrap metal, had some back plates out of some enclosures that were actually the exact same thickness as this metal here. And I basically just edge welded face to face. I did turn this upside down and cut a kerf to make sure it would fit properly. I did have a little bit of a clearance issue where I had to cut and knock out that piece and grind that down. Looked like I was going to have some deflection here as I would put something on this. This side would settle down because it's thinner. So my plan was to weld a support under this to support this, but because I had an interference issue here, I basically just cut this section out so I didn't have that clearance issue, put a small piece of angle here, welded a piece here, so now this does not have any deflection at all. So I'm going to mount this up and then I'm going to show it to you. Alright, got that mounted, found a way to eliminate the clip, so let me show you what I got going on here. Okay, so got this connected. I think it'll work out pretty well, especially for the next project I'm going to show you. I did just kind of overlap that and expose the hook part or the loop or whatever that side is. But check this out. Got my handy foot pedal. Sorry if it was a little bit loud, but there's a little deflection here. I'm assuming because the weight is on this side and this side's flicked up a little bit, so there's a little bit of deflection there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it, and we're gonna do a couple other things. I'm gonna show you guys how to make railroad spike crosses next. Stay tuned for more. Please hit that subscribe button, click the bells for notification, and I'll be back to you guys shortly. Thanks.